Join me as I dive into the history books and try to uncover the truth behind the Vikings' last stand. Can I piece together their tragic end and what it meant for the warrior era? The Vikings, legendary warriors of the North, have left an indelible mark on history. For centuries, they ravaged and raided, trading and settling, and leaving behind a legacy that would be revered and romanticized for generations to come. As the Viking Age wore on, internal strife began to take its toll on their societies. Petty squabbles and power struggles weakened their strongholds, making them more vulnerable to external pressures. The emergence of powerful kingdoms in Europe, like England and France, posed a significant threat to Viking dominance. These rising powers saw the Vikings as a threat to their own security and sought to curtail their influence. The Vikings' traditional way of life was also under attack from within. As Christianity spread throughout Europe, many Viking leaders began to adopt the faith, sparking a cultural shift that would ultimately erode their pagan traditions. The old gods were being replaced by a new, more gentle force, and it would change the face of Viking society forever. At the same time, the Vikings' military prowess was being challenged by the evolution of warfare. The development of more sophisticated fortifications and the introduction of heavy cavalry forced the Vikings to adapt their tactics, but they struggled to keep pace with these changes. As the Viking world grappled with these challenges, key events began to unfold that would lead to their final stand. The Norman conquest of England in 1066 had a profound impact on Viking politics, as Harold Godwinson's defeat marked the beginning of the end for Viking power in the British Isles. Across the continent, the Viking settlements in France were facing their own struggles, as the French monarchy sought to consolidate its power and push the Vikings out. One of the most significant events of this period was the reign of King Canute, who briefly united England, Denmark, and Norway under a single Viking empire. However, his death in 1035 sparked a succession crisis that would ultimately plunge the region into chaos. The Viking settlements in Russia were also facing their own challenges, as the Eastern Orthodox Church exerted its influence and the Viking traders began to lose their grip on the region. On September 25, 1066, the fateful Battle of Stamford Bridge took place, marking the last stand of the Vikings. The Norwegian king Harald Hardrada, who had allied himself with the English Earl Tostig Godwinson, led a massive invasion force into England. The English army, led by King Harold Godwinson, marched north to confront them, and the two forces clashed in a bloody and brutal battle. The Norwegian army was decimated, and King Harald Hardrada fell in the fighting. Earl Tostig Godwinson was killed soon after, and the Viking Age came to a close. The battle was a crushing defeat for the Vikings, and it marked the end of their era of expansion and dominance. The consequences of the Vikings' last stand were far-reaching and profound. The Viking culture, which had once been so vibrant and energetic, began to fade away, replaced by the emerging cultures of medieval Europe. The legacy of the Vikings lived on, however, and their impact on history was cemented in the annals of time. What do you think about the Viking era and its tragic end? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to check out our next video.